Dude, is this lens faulty?
So just before we start our video today, if you guys want to see anything go through our channel, such as a product review, or watch me do some photography challenge, or take you around a tour of somewhere, just let me know in the comments below and we'll see if we can make it for you. Now to kick off our video. So today we've got the Sony 100mm f2.8 STF GM lens. Now previously you would have seen us review the brand new Sony 135mm G Master 1.8 which released this year. So we're going to see how the 100mm stacks up to the 135 and whether it is the portrait master that it claims to be. Comparing the 100mm to the 135mm, the 100mm is slightly different in that its optical design and features are solely designed for portraiture photography as well as wildlife and macro photography. So going over my first impressions on the lens, when you hold it, it is pretty damn light, which in comparison to the 135 is a lot better. Using the actual lens itself, you'll notice on the back of the lens, the aperture ring is measured in t-stops. And if you don't know what t-stops are, t-stops is a more accurate measurement of how much light actually touches your sensor, whereas f-stops just measures how wide the aperture ring opens at the front of the lens. In terms of interpreting the actual aperture values on the lens, you'll notice at t5.6 is actually equivalent to f2.8 on the lens. Now this is because this lens uniquely has a smooth trans focus system which incorporates an apodization filter just to give you smoother bokeh, but that also stops down a bit of light, kind of similar to how a gradual or variable ND works. In terms of buttons and switches on the lens, it's got one focus hold button just to give you easier access to settings, and then on the side of the lens you've got your autofocus to manual focus switch, you've got your optical image stabilization on and off switch, and on the right hand side you've got a D clicker just to smoothen out your aperture ring for video purposes, or if you just want a smoother transition between maximum and minimum aperture. At the front of the lens, you have a really nice wide focus ring, which is fully rubberized and has pretty good resistance to it as well. In addition, as it's a G Master lens, the focus by wire system is quite sophisticated, so you won't have too much problem in terms of focusing speed whilst turning the actual ring. And finally, at the back of the lens, you have your focus limiter just to change it from close-up to all-round general use. So let's go over the key features of the 100mm f2.8 STF lens. So first off, its maximum aperture is f2.8 to f22, and measuring that in t-stops, it's f5.6 to f22. The apodization filter does stop and kick into effect below f8. So if you're opening up your lens to f2.8, then the apodization filter will kick in, and as you start to stop down every single stop up to f8, the effect of the actual apodization filter starts to reduce. Secondly, it's got one extra low dispersion element just to help out with chromatic aberrations and color fringing. You've got nano AR coating just to help out with surface reflections as well as glare. And the whole lens is dust and moisture resistant. In terms of autofocusing, it has a linear motor, making it really quiet and quite fast to focus. So just to show you the effect of the filter, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot 3 photos from f2.8 or t5.6 all the way up to f8, and you're going to see how much that apodization filter actually kicks in. This focus isn't that great, I don't think. Or is this me? What the hell?
Dude, is this lens faulty?
So me being extremely stupid, I left the lens on the close-up focusing mode, and I'm trying to focus on Josh more than a meter away from me, and it wasn't working. Look, let's just forget this ever happened, and we move on. So although the lens does open up to f2.8, you just have to remember that it actually doesn't open up the full way because of the apodization filter. So you will be getting around f5.6. So don't go out in super dark environments and expect it to perform as well as your other 100mm prime lens that can open up truly to f2.8. So I have to take up my ISO now to do these sample photos. So let's go 1600. There we go. A lot better. So now I'll actually use the proper way to use the close-up mode. So the lens will actually let you get quite close, up to about 57 centimeters for focusing. So you can get some pretty cool macro and still life stuff using the close-up feature of the lens. So comparing the Sony 135mm G Master and the 100mm G Master, they both are pretty good in terms of autofocus. Both are quick, both are quite reliable. However, the 100mm does tend to be a bit sluggish in lower light environments, such as the one that we are in right now. Now, this is because of the apodization filter and the STF system that blocks the light transmission by quite a bit, especially if you are trying to shoot it wide open. So just keep in mind, if you are going to bring this lens out to a low light environment, make sure to have a tripod or have available lighting just to help the lens out when shooting your portraiture. One of the things I love the most about the 100mm is how light it is and easy it is to carry around. So if you are an avid traveling portrait photographer or just like to go on intense hikes and want to take your beloved 100mm out, then the lens is perfect for you. Today, our sample photos were shot with the Sony a7 Mark III with the 100mm STF G Master lens. One of the most unique qualities about this lens is how smooth the bokeh is when opened wide. In addition, the 11-blade rounded aperture diaphragm combined with the STF and apodization filter creates really beautiful soft bokeh and extreme amounts of separation, making it perfect for shooting portraits, flowers, still life, and more. The lens boasts high optical performance with premium sharpness across the frame, even wide open. In addition, the close-up shooting is nice and sharp. There's very little vignetting in the corners and it does an adequate job of dealing with flaring. Overall, in terms of optical quality, we were quite impressed with the Sony 100mm G Master F2.8 STF lens. So my final thoughts on the Sony 100mm G Master. If you are looking for a telephoto prime that is a lot more versatile, that allows you to shoot landscapes, portraits, as well as gives you more low light performance, then the 135mm 1.8 is probably the way to go. However, if you are a devout portrait photographer and really like shooting still life and flowers, then honestly the look that you get out of the 100mm f2.8 is super unique and would be essential for anyone who really wants to get optimal looking portraits. If you have any questions on the Sony 100mm, pop them in the comments below. Make sure to follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, and our blog, which links to those are in our description below for full written reviews as well as what's going on in store. And as always, if you enjoyed our video, make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future updates. And if you do have any suggestions for future videos, please pop them in the comments below as well.